We live in this world where we're always doing a million things at once. But what if I told you the German language has one single, super elegant word that just perfectly captures that feeling? It's kind of fitting for a culture known for its efficiency, right? So today, we're going to dive into the art of doing two things at once the German way.
I mean, you know the feeling, right? You're on a phone call, but you're also secretly scanning your emails. Your brain is just split in two, trying to keep up. It's that classic office juggle, and it's the perfect place for us to start.
Or maybe you're at home, stirring a pot on the stove while you're on the phone catching up with a friend. We are constantly combining actions, just trying to squeeze every last drop out of every single minute.
Well, get this. The German language has this brilliant and really precise way to talk about these moments. It's one word that acts like a bridge, connecting two things that are happening in parallel. Let's check it out.
And that word is während. Now, you might see it translated as while or during, but honestly, it's so much more than that. It's like a linguistic spotlight that shines on two things happening in perfect sync.
So, to get just a little technical for a second, während is what's called a conjunction. It's a connector word, and its whole job is to signal that two things are happening at the exact same time. Not one after the other, both, right now. Think of it like this. You've got action one happening over here and action two happening right alongside it on a parallel track. Während is basically the glue that holds those two tracks together in the very same moment. This is a fantastic, everyday example. Ich höre gerne Musik, während ich arbeite. I like to listen to music while I work. See? Während is the key here. It shows that the music and the work are happening together, in harmony.
Okay, so now that you know what it means, how do we actually build sentences with it? Using während is pretty straightforward, but you've got to know this one key rule, and it's a total classic of German grammar.
This is it. This is the golden rule. In the part of the sentence that starts with während, the verb gets kicked all the way to the very end. You just have to remember that little quirk. Let's look at that rule in action. The main part is simple. Holger macht das Fenster auf. Holger opens the window. Then you have the simultaneous action, starting with während. And notice where the verb einschaltet has gone? Bam, right to the very end. It's a really clear way to separate the two parallel events. But German also likes to give you options. You don't always have to start with the main action. You can actually flip the whole sentence around if you want to emphasize the while part. And see? It means the exact same thing. We just start with während, but we still keep its verb, einschaltet, at the end of its clause. Then you add a comma, and the verb for the main clause, macht, slides right up to the front. It's a neat little switch that just lets you change the focus. All right, grammar is cool and all, but let's see how this word actually works out in the wild. We're going to follow a day in the life of a super busy manager to see how she uses während to talk about her constant multitasking. So these next examples, they come from a blog where she's detailing her schedule. Just pay attention to how während keeps popping up over and over again, connecting all the pieces of her daily juggling act. So her day starts early. She's jogging, and while she's jogging, she's also enjoying nature. Während connects those two experiences into one seamless thought. And the morning rush keeps going. The action of her making breakfast is happening at the very same time her husband is waking up the kids. It's just a perfect little snapshot of a busy family morning, all explained with this one simple structure. And now we're at the office. The multitasking is non-stop. She's negotiating with clients, and in parallel, her assistant is planning the rest of the day. Während is so useful because it shows how two different people's actions can be simultaneous too. Even on her break, she's multitasking. She's on her break and she's making a quick call. It just goes to show während is really the go-to word for describing a life that is packed with overlapping things to do. Okay, so we've seen the definition, we've broken down the grammar, and we've walked through some real-world examples. Let's wrap this all up with the most important things you need to remember. All right, let's lock this in. First, während is your best friend for talking about any two things happening at once. Second, never forget that little grammatical kick. The verb goes to the end of the während clause. Put those two things together and you've basically mastered the German art of multitasking. Let's end on one final and honestly perfect example. Mein Mann singt gerne während duscht. My husband likes to sing while he showers. The singing and the showering, they're happening at the exact same time.
It's such a simple, everyday image that just perfectly captures the whole spirit of Während.
And that kind of leaves us with one last thought. Think about your own day. What are you doing während you do something else? Pretty cool, right? Now you have the perfect German word to describe it.